that categorize these people you've listed in categories that are similar. So for example, I listed about 3 people who I met at a leadership conference last year. So I would put an asterisk or put them all in one category because I met those people in one setting. So I'd like you to look at the list of names you have put down and ask yourself, not just whether you met them in the same place, but are they the same kind of people? For example, are they all professional network kind of people? Or could they be another kind of network? Is like, you know, I grew my inner circle, my personal inner circle by 1 person last year. So I have the 3 people who I met in a leadership conference last year. So I'll put them together. But then I did meet 1 or 2 other people who have nothing to do with my professional career, nothing to do with my leadership journey, but I met them because my kids and their kids are on the same mission. So now we are talking about parenting teenagers. So those people are in another different kind of category, but I networked with them and I connected with them. I hope it's clear. So what we are trying to see is, who is it? How many people did you connect with? New people last year. And then who are these people? Yeah. If you started, say, health, oh, actually, now that I say that, I need to put up down. If you started a health and fitness journey last year, and you connected with some hikers somewhere, that is different from the guys who you met professionally or in a professional setup, or is different from the guys you met, I don't know, in the club, maybe. So you say, yeah, I met this guy when I was hiking. This is another kind of category of people I met. So that's how I would like you to review those who you listed as you met last year, you connected with last year. Okay. So I hope that's provided some sort of reflection, because from that kind of reflection, we go into what is networking, why do we network, how do we network, and with whom do we network? With whom we might not exhaust the list, but we'll give, you know, different categories here and there, so that you are able to know how to structure your networking journey in 2020. This year, you come in very deliberate about how you network, how you connect, and what that means for you, all right? So that reflection is from last year. We leave it there. And I'll tell you, maybe we can get some feedback on the chat, or you could unmute yourself and give a reflection or a comment on how did that exercise go for you. If anyone wants to share, how did that exercise go for you? I'll start, because I hadn't done it this year. I usually try and do it once every year at the beginning of the year. So I was putting down my list, and first of all, I went like, okay, who did I connect with last year? I wasn't quite, you know, it didn't come straight to me. But then as I started listing it down, I started going through which are the events I went to last year and who did I meet. And naturally, what came for me was my leadership and professional events. I am on the Women on Boards journey. I ran programs for women on boards. I'm on leadership. I'm on women in leadership. I'm in different kind of professional engagements and initiatives. And the people I listed first were from that space. So I listed them very quickly. I was like, oh yeah, I went to Malindi, I met this person. I went to this person, we had this, you know, online virtual seminar. I wrote this 2-3 people I connected with there. But then I realized very quickly that I'm listing the same kind of people, all right? I listed them anyway. Then I stepped back and went like, because I know what I know now, and I've been teaching it. I said, okay, hold on. I need to figure out who else I met last year and connected with last year. Okay, so I got out of the space. You kind of like zoom out of your professional space, or if you're in business, you zoom out of your business space, and then you come and say, okay, where else did I meet people? I was on this mission to, work towards running the Stanchart Marathon, which I did not. But I was on the mission anyway, and I met some people, and I listed them down. I said, anyway, I met them. I didn't achieve that goal, but I met these people. So when I meet these people, when they call, when they text, the conversation is different. But when I meet the ones on, say, the women on board's space, the conversation could be personal, but they're actually reaching out for a very specific thing. What do we do about International Women's Day that's coming up in 4 weeks? So the conversation there is different. But the Stanchart Marathon, people are saying, Dolly, it is 9th of February. Do you want to start this again this year? And, we can escort you to that marathon, okay? So that's how you that is what I went through when I was going through this. So do you want to share, anyone wants to share how the experience was, listing these people? You can either share on the chat, or you can unmute and share. Also, another thing is when I do the talks lately, because we have gone through death by PowerPoint, almost by Zoom and all the other platforms, I have conversations. I don't do presentations, and then I will send you 3-4 slides that will remind you what we discussed. All right. So that's how this conversation is going to go. All right. So as we think about what that looked like, or what that experience was, reflecting back on 2021, I want to start with, why is it necessary? First of all, what is networking? Yeah, so that we demystify this. Maybe this word, sometimes these words are used and overused, and maybe we don't have the same understanding. But for me, networking is just connecting with people, connecting. Yeah, so I could network with, I'll read the names on the screen. So I would network out. Now I've met Sophie virtually. I haven't even had Sophie. Yes, Sophie, you. So I haven't even heard her voice. I have seen her face. That fact that I have seen her face and we're having this virtual conversation, so far a one-way conversation, makes me connect with her much more than I connect with a name on a black screen. So that already has an impact. All right. So I might meet her somewhere physically, or on another Zoom call where another virtual call where our videos are on, and I'll be like, I know that face, but maybe it just stops there. But the impact that video being on and me looking at her has is much more powerful than the impact I have with the names on the screen. All right. The opportunity that COVID gave us, in fact, before I go to the opportunity that COVID and post-COVID gave us with regards to networking, before COVID, connecting with people happened much more physically fast, like you go through the steps. I'm invited to Kakamega Forest to do a training on financial literacy or networking. So Sam invited me there. I went. Before I got there, I met his team that was organizing for the event. We had back and forth. First of all, we met at a restaurant in town, and I was so excited to be in that restaurant in town because it reminded me of my campus days. In fact, even the way I was clad and leaving the house, I was just on this high, going to meet these people who were organizing for that event in the Kakamega Forest. Is it 3 years ago? To talk about, how will that should go. So we sat there and I had my chips and sausage. I was really feeling really nice going through that experience. And I met these young people. And before we got to the agenda of, hi, Dolly, this is when you're going to speak. This is how much time you'll be given. We got to know each other because, first of all, not everybody comes at the right time. So the ones who come early, we start talking. So what do you do? What do I do? And stuff like that. So I bonded with these people I met in town. Okay. Then we went into the agenda, and then they said, okay, so this is how we're gonna do it in Kakamega. And then we met in Kakamega, again, physically. And we had this session. First of all, it was raining and we were wondering, will it stop raining? Will this thing? And in that whole, we are trying to deliver something to achieve the common goal. We share experiences. Please just give me a sign if my network is not, or if my audio is not good. It's good. Okay, thank you. It's kind of like paused for a minute here on my end. So as we were settling in on that day in Kakamega to start the networking session and stuff like that, first of all, we were given t-shirts, and I was like, oh, wow. You know, it was really nice, and it was upbeat, and I think there was music in the background, and I was feeling very nice. And we were talking informally with people. This is all about networking, yeah? And then we got into the serious stuff, talked about what we needed to talk about, and then there was a Q&A, and then we left. And then what happened after Kakamega, after that engagement with the Raila crew at the time, depended a lot on what those people did with the people we met, with the people they met. And it depended a lot for me also what I did with the people I met on that day. All right, and that will go through the how of networking. But what I wanted to bring out was before COVID, there was a lot of physical contact that allowed for verbal, non-verbal, professionally, semi-professional, personal, maybe non-personal kind of connection with people. And then that would enable you to build your network. And after the physical meetup, before COVID, you would go on to a phone call, a WhatsApp call, an email, and say, hey, my name is Dolly. This is where we met up. I'm so glad to connect with you on LinkedIn. I'm glad to connect with you on email. Or send me a text. I will hook you up with whatever it is you want. That's how it happened then. Now, so it would start with physical. Then it would go to some sort of online. And then depending on how you nurtured it, it would go back to physical, right? Where I would say, yeah, it was really nice meeting you. So on email, oh yeah, I remember you. Of course, I remember you. It was really nice meeting you on this day. I remember we had this discussion. Yeah. Let me know. Let's have some coffee sometime. Then it moves again to physical. So physical in the large group setting, email for those ones who care to follow up, or LinkedIn for those ones who care to connect. And then it goes to physical depending on how you handled the first engagement. So rarely will people give you a second physical meeting. And now post-COVID, even a first physical meeting, if you did not add value to the conversation. So if you come to the conversation and you don't make an impact, you don't connect with the person, you don't, kind of get your interest to what interests this other person I'm meeting, and then you go back on email like the next day and you try and connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, we all gather all these connections on LinkedIn. After such engagements, I have 58 people on the Zoom call today. After such engagements, I get very many people wanting to connect with me on LinkedIn. So some of them I know, some of them I don't. I do not connect with the ones I don't accept the ones I don't know. And the only way I can know from this meeting is the interaction. So I don't just gather names, right? So depending on what happened in the first meetup you had with the people, you would get an opportunity for second and maybe third and fourth physical meeting. So that was pre-COVID. Physical, then online, then physical again. Now post-COVID, virtual again, and then maybe physical. So right now, you have to really convince someone to say, let's have lunch. I really need to discuss something with you. Why should I come for that lunch? And yet, for human beings, for you to really go deep, that physical connection has to be there. This virtual window, this virtual space we are operating in, what we have today, it is artificial. This is not how we are created. This is not how we operate. So post-COVID, the conveniences of COVID allow us to connect like this virtually. Otherwise, I would have asked Sam, where is the Rotary Club of Jabali? Where do they meet? So he would have called me, hi, Dolly, I'd like you to be a guest speaker. Yeah. The first question I'd ask, where do you guys meet? Pre-COVID. Then I figure out, okay, which side of town are you? How do I organize my day? How do I get there? And then I come there. Then I would come early, the ones who come to the room early, we'd connect a bit, I'd do my talk and then. But now we are virtually here for, I don't know, 1 hour or so. Then post this event, someone will connect with me on phone, on LinkedIn, on email. So it's still a name. I don't know. I still don't see the face. I don't know what this person is all about. And then if we connected, it will be then another virtual engagement or online engagement. Yeah, I respond to your email. Oh, it was great. Yeah, thanks for reaching out, etc, etc. Then a fourth other online engagement. And then I would need to know what then would drive you even to accept to meet me for lunch, or me to accept to meet you for coffee or something like that. And yet we know it is that lunch or that golf game or that coffee that really takes you to where you want to be with this person. So what do we do post-COVID? All right. So we network. Why do we network? We network because your network is your net worth. What you're worth as a person is defined by who is around you. So you have to be deliberate about who comes around you and how do you build this extra team that comes to surround you, all right? And with the exercise that we did, the first exercise we did, you asked yourself, is my team made up of 30 people who look the same, or are they 30 diverse people? For example, when I started listing the people I met last year, I started listing the ones I met at a leadership event in some place I went last year. And I listed, we were, I think, 15. And I was like, oh, yeah, I met this guy. Oh, I really connected with this guy. Oh, there's this lady I met too. And I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. But they all were in the same meeting for 1 week. We had this great engagement, but that's the same kind of people. It's like I'm counting, there were 15. Yeah. If I listed all 15, it's like counting the same person 15 times. So the fact that I connected with 15 of them is rich. Yes, you could say it is good, but it's not diverse enough for me and the growth I want to see in my life. It is like meeting the same person 15 times because we were senior leaders or leaders on a mission going to learn more about how to achieve our goals. Now, outside that group, I listed 2 or 3 or 4 parents who actually came together in, again, another setup last year. We are raising teenagers and we are asking, and we got this amazing program for teenagers. And we said, our teens need to attend this program. Okay, so we put the program together. We put our teenagers to attend the program. And with this other kind of people, again, 3 or 4, I either count them as 4 new people or 1 person I met 4 times, all right? And I say, I now can connect with 4 people and have conversations about my teenage son or about my teenage daughter or about their teenage daughter or their teenage son. So I have the first lot, which is the group I met in the leadership session. I have the second group, which are a group of 4 or 5 that I met on a mission to grow the leadership, to grow the skills and the competencies of their teenagers, and I'm in that category. I have a third group that I connected with because I was on a mission to run the Stanchart Marathon, even just 5 kilometers, by the way. It's not, we're not even talking about the 24. Mine is like very basic. We're starting, from the beginning. But this other group is different. They eat healthy, they live healthy, they exercise each day, they psych themselves up each day, they go for hikes and stuff like that. So I connected with those ones, and those ones I think are about 30. So I either say I met 30 people, or I met 1 person 30 times who encourages me to achieve this goal that I have. So I have counted so far from my lot last year, 15 people from a leadership session, 4 or 5 parents on the same mission, and 30 people who were my champions and my strength towards me achieving my health goal for last year. So either I count that I met 15 plus 5 plus 30, that is what, 50 people. Either I say I met 50 people last year and connected with 50 people, or I say that I connected with 3 kinds of people last year. That now is a decision you have to make on your own. But I would encourage you to think about it as 3 kinds of people you met last year, because if you go to category A, you'll have this kind of conversation and this kind of motivation, this kind of encouragement, this kind of advice. The other category B is different, C is different. And by the way, I also met these teenage sons and daughters, and some of them do write to me right now. And each time we have an interaction, I go like, oh my God, I didn't think teenagers thought this way. They also are a connection I made last year, all right? So we connect, we network, because we now realize that our network is indeed our net worth. What you're worth as a person, worth not just in terms of money or opportunities to make money, opportunities to get jobs or deals or to grow your business, not just that, but even what you're worth in terms of the conversations you have. How deep are you? Your depth and the depth of your conversation, your width and the width of your knowledge depends on who you speak to, depends on who you connect with, depends on who you have invited into your circle. Your worth today depends on that circle and how wide that circle is, and then how deep those conversations go with the people in your circle. Your worth tomorrow depends on how you are growing that circle, month on month, year on year, and whether you know that you need to do it deliberately. Okay, why do we network? We network because we realize that our net worth today and our net worth tomorrow depends on who we meet today, how diverse that group is, and how deep we go in the discussions and the connections we have with this group. Okay, so that's the why of networking. So how do we network? I have 4 steps that I would like to share, just so that we can have some sort of order in how we go through this. And I'm just one of those you will hear from. I encourage you to read widely. I work for Oracle. You had the finance director for Oracle in Africa. And I think, is it last week, we actually all within the EMEA region, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, got invited to again revisit this topic of networking. Just so you know, it never goes away. It will never go away, no matter what time, what age you are, or what stage you are in your life. And it is not just about, again, another thing that I think that is taken for, not for granted, but people assume that networking is about growing your career or your business. Yeah. When you're thinking about, say, building a house, you need to get into that inner circle of yours in 2022. If you're thinking, I really need to look for land, and I need to think about how to build a house for myself in the next 5 years. That means now in 2022, you need to identify at least 5 people who have done exactly that. They went, they looked for land. So you'll have to have land stories. Where did you get this land? Why did you choose that place? What regrets do you have? What is the best thing about choosing this land in this location? What would you advise somebody who's looking for land? Whatever, yeah? Then you get somebody who's built, maybe has already built and moved into their home. And the conversation you're going to have with that person is, they'll tell you, I built too much house. Have you heard that comment? I built too much house. I was too ambitious. I have this whole big, huge building. If I was to do it all over again, I would build a small functional unit and leave myself a bigger, larger garden. That is now what people are saying. They bought a quarter an acre, an eighth an acre, half an acre, and most of the acreage is full of house. So you want to work, you want to network if you want to build a house in the next 5 years. You want to network from 2022 for the next 5 years with people who've already built their house and lived in their houses for 10 years. You want to network with the one who started looking for land last year, has bought land this year, and then you understand how does that work. You want to network with the one who's currently in the process of building. And then you realize the one who's currently in the process of building, there could be 3 different kinds. They're doing it themselves, like they are the contractor, they're the ones picking all the phone calls and doing all that stuff. Then they're the ones who have totally outsourced to somebody to do it for themselves. Then there are those ones who have said, you know, there was, they tell you, there was a plan, what do they call it? There was like a project coming up somewhere, and I plugged into the project, so they keep updating us. So you will get different kinds of people who are building in 2022, and you talk to them. But then you also get to the ones who built 5 years ago, they're living in their house, and you talk to them. Then you talk to the ones who have been living in the house for 10, 15 years, and you talk to them. And each one of them will add value to your, I want to build a house that I will live in goal. All right. So you do this in alignment with the goals that you have, but we'll get there. So how do you network? The first thing is proximity. You have to be within the space of those you think you need to network with. You cannot say, I want to build a house, and then you hang out with people who have no ambition of any home ownership, whether they're going to build it or they're going to buy one that is ready built. Okay, so what is your proximity to those you want to network with? And let me maybe take a step back. Who do we network with? Maybe we start with the who first. Who are you networking with? You network with those who you need to, learn from, but at the same time, you need to give to them. Networking is first about giving than it is about receiving. People assume that I'm going to go to this conference or this function because I hear so-and-so is coming. Or I've seen on the list, these are the guys who are going to be there. This is what I would like them to do for me. That's the default we go into, all right? You must first interrogate yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I have to give? Because that first interaction, if you say, for example, you want to build a house, and Dolly is in that function, and Dolly has built the kind of house in the kind of neighborhood you want to build that house in, I'm going to use examples outside the professional space because I would like us to understand how this really works. People work with people. Only after you have connected personally will I refer you for a job. That is how it works. We might read it differently, we might assume it's different, but I connect more with you. I connect more towards almost personally, and then I say, I can vouch for Kennedy. I have had interactions with Kennedy and he can do this job. But it has to start with how deep was that connection, right? So when you see this list of people who are going for this webinar, who are going to be in the webinar, or who are going to be in the physical meetup now that the world is opening up a bit, and then you see Dolly, and you know that Dolly built a house in the neighborhood you want, and you want to see, how much did it cost? What are the regrets she has? What are the things she knows she did well and she would do them again and stuff like that? And then you meet me in this restaurant or hotel where we're having the engagement. And then you come straight at me, how you manage the first 2 minutes, how you manage the first 2 to 3 minutes of that meeting, of that engagement, of that connection will matter a lot. You want from me an understanding of how to build your house. You have to approach, the approach you take until, you shake my hand I don't know, or, you know, we do the fist bump or the elbow thingy, depending on what it is that we do now. Whatever it is that happens in the first 2 to 3 minutes will matter with how long we stretch out this process of getting to know each other. You know, there are those who would come towards you with a smile. They are dressed well. They have an aura of confidence around them. And they come, and the first thing you say, of course, is hi, the greeting, yeah. But what do you say next? What is the second thing you say after I say hi, Dolly? Or hi, my name is Kennedy. Or my name is Moutier, for example. What do you say next? What it is that you say next will determine how long or how stretched out that relationship will go. All right, let me repeat. What you say after you say hi to the person you wanted to connect with will determine how far, how long stretched that relationship between you and that person will go. So I'll tell you at least one of the things, one of the best ways to engage in that first 3 minutes. You will have done your homework about that person. You must have done your homework about that person. You will realize that when you do your homework with all this access to the internet and people's information is online, etc., you will realize that there's something that person has listed as a passion they have, or their latest interest, or a post on their LinkedIn of a book they read and the chapter of that book that stood out for them. But there will be something that this person has shared on the virtual space that is personal to them. Then you'll come and say, hi, Dolly. My name is, let me pick somebody else with the video. Kate. Hi, Dolly. My name is Kate. I'm very interested about the post you had on LinkedIn about women and leadership. I was particularly intrigued by the point you raised about the journey of a female leader being different from the journey of a male who's in leadership. You've already caught my attention. And the person who, now Kate approaches me that way, I will not forget her face. I might forget her name. Now this is just me, Dolly. I'm really not good with names, but I'm trying. I will not forget her face. I will not forget what she said. I will not forget how she made me feel. I could forget her name. And because she knows I might forget her name, but Kate that time will for sure know that I have to be very special to forget somebody who comes and points out an article I posted. I have to be a very special person to forget somebody who came and acknowledged something that I raised. So because she knows I might forget her name, what she will then do within 24 hours of that meeting, she will send me an email or a connection request on LinkedIn and say, hi, Dolly, this is Kate. And then this is what, again, you say virtually next. We connected on that conversation around women and their journey to leadership and how different that is with the journey that men take. And then she will say further, now you bring yourself into that conversation and say, I have a similar experience, or I read this in a book somewhere. Anyway, this is a link. I thought it would interest you. Hope to connect on LinkedIn. That person I connect with immediately. Yeah, are we together on how that goes? Thumbs up if I'm making sense. Thumbs, maybe, okay, good. I would like not to lose anyone, okay? So what you want to do is to first connect with the person. And remember, when I told you to reflect about 2021, the word I used was list 10 people you connected with in 2021. I don't know whether you realize that. You might have listed 20 people I met last year. By the way, I met very many people, virtually and physically. I met very many people, but you meet, oh, hi, oh. Then somebody goes like, oh, that's the guy who ran the marathon and finished. I'm like, oh, wow. When I go meet him, shake his hand and go like, oh, congrats. I met that guy. but I did not connect with that guy at all. All right. So the people we were supposed to write in that first exercise was how many people did you connect with? Can you list at least 10 people or up to 10 people you connected with? Now, my interaction with Kate, as I just mentioned, was a connection. In the same room that I was talking about, I might have met, let me take another name, Esther. Esther might have come to me in the same room and said, hi, my name is Esther. You're Dolly, yeah, okay, fine. This is my card. I was just asking, could I get your card, please? I'll give you my card because I'm good. I'm nice like that. And that's it. Oh, thank you so much, Dolly. Then Esther is going to use my card and try and come to my LinkedIn or to another space and try and connect with me. And I'll be like, who's this person? All right. That's how it goes. And then she will take time to explain herself on LinkedIn or my email on the card and really explain and say, we met in this conference. I just wanted to ask you something, or I see, I don't know, there are openings at Oracle, for example, or I see that you do this and I wanted to know, I'm on the same journey. I wanted to know, can we talk further about this, etc. I will struggle. My relationship with Esther, even with that 5 minutes or 3 minutes space that we had with Esther, was so different than the 3 minute space or 3 minutes, whatever, I had with Kate. So if Kate writes back to me and tells me, by the way, I'm on this journey, I see you're connected with another person. Is it possible for me to have this conversation with you? And then you see if you can connect me with that other person. Connect is the word I'm using. So you first start with the networking skill, and then networking moves into connections, right? So I will most likely respond to Kate much more favorably or sooner, much more sooner, okay? Now, who do we connect with? Who do we seek to network with? That who answer is the who question, actually. The who question is a second question. The first question with regards to who you should network with, the first question is, what are your goals? What are your personal goals? What are your goals for 2022 or up until the next 5 years? So if you say, in the next 5 years, I have a goal to build a house. I have a goal to have a managerial position. I have a goal to get into the, the leadership program by, all these leadership programs that are being advertised, some in the US, some in the UK and stuff like that. And most of them are preferably by referral only, So you say, I have a goal to get into a leadership program. This program, I have to get into it because now I'm 30 and I see the cutoff is 35. I must get into this program before I'm 35. That's a goal. Or I want to build a house and I would like to build a house before I'm 30 or before I'm 35. That's a goal. I want to be a manager before or in the next 2 years. That's your goal. I want to secure myself. By the way, I am so passionate about financial literacy. So of course, one of the examples will be around how you manage your money. So you say, I have a goal to build a financial base that will leave me secure whether I keep my job or not. That's a goal you have. So who you network with starts from what goal do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What are you looking to achieve as a person? So you list your goals. And then once you have listed those goals, against each goal, you list the kind of person you need to connect with to bring into your inner circle so that you achieve that goal. So if I want to get to a program that is being offered by Harvard, and I've seen that that program is by invite only, then you first say, my goal is to get into this program. That's goal. That's a goal. You list it. Then you say, then you go read about it and go like, oh my God, this program is by invite only. That means I need somebody who can invite me into this program. So you go to the alumni list, list for those people who've attended that program, and you get Dolly. Dolly's name is there. Then you say, no, sorry. You say, for this goal, I want a person who's an alumni of the program, or who sits on the board, the selection board, or who has this kind of influence. You define the person first. Then as you define that person, then you go looking and say, oh, Dolly is on the board, or Dolly is an alumni, or Dolly, on my LinkedIn, I'm connected to Dolly, and she's connected to XYZ, who is an alumni of the program, so I need to connect better with Dolly. So it usually starts with the goal, right? But then you get to me in that conference that, you know, where I met Kate, and you have your goal to get into the Harvard program, and you've seen that I'm connected to somebody who sits on the board or who is in the selection board or whatever. You will see me there and you'll come and say, hi, Dolly, it's been a while. Now, remember, we met 3-4 years ago in Kakamega Forest. Now, it depends on what you've done in the last 4 years. So I'm encouraging how do you network? There's a point there that talks about nurturing your network. We'll come to it. So you will see Dolly, and you will, your mind will be all, you know, systems go to get as close to Dolly as possible, because she knows this person who's an alumni of that program, and you need to be introduced to the program. Okay, so that is why people network. That is how you should build your network. You build your network to align to the goals that you have. All right. So who do you network with? Who are you seeking to network with? Someone who's going to potentially be your mentor. You network with somebody who's potentially going to be your career sponsor. You know, maybe 10 years ago, we used to just say the word sponsor, but now we have to make it very clear. It's either a career sponsor or a work sponsor. 10 years ago, when we were being trained and, you know, our journeys, and we had our mentors and they were telling us to get sponsors, it was very simple. But now it's very complicated. You're looking for people who are going to be your work sponsors. You're looking for people who are going to be your career sponsors. You're looking for people who are going to be your education sponsors. You're looking for mentors. You're looking to network with stakeholders within the circle of influence that you want to be in. The stakeholders within the circle of influence that you plan to plug into. Okay? You're looking for personal advisory board members. What is a personal advisory board? You create a board and say, I, Sam, would like to achieve these 7 things in the next 7 years. And because I need 7 people who've been there ahead of me, I'm going to look for these 7 people and I'll make them my personal advisory board. So you start networking to look for each one of those 7 people who will help you achieve those 7 goals. And then you bring them in, they become your extra team to build the life you want to build. All right. So those are the people that we're looking to network with. So how do we network? Number one, I said, let's go back. Sorry, I kind of skipped this a bit. The number one thing is proximity. Once you have defined your goal, and then you define the kind of person who will enable you attain or achieve your goal, then you have to bring yourself close to that person. Proximity. You have to bring yourself close to that person or those kind of people. I had a goal to run the Stanchart marathon. All right. Now, I could have done it with my career people, with my women in leadership people, with my parents who are looking to equip their children with the competencies, or I could have done it with the Rotarian Hikers Club, the group. There's a group for hikers, there's a group for runners, there's a group for, so I went and did it with the right people. Put myself there and told them, hey, here I am, Dolly. I'm just looking to run the 5-kilometer race this October. Tafadhali nisaidieni, you know? So proximity. You bring yourself to the space where those who will help you achieve your goal are. Once you bring yourself to that space, then you know what to do. I've already told you what to do within the first 3 minutes. So when I get into this group, and I see somebody, I would not just go and say, oh, hi, my name is Dolly. Have you run a race before? Yeah, I've run a race. Oh, okay. I'm hoping to run a race. Okay, bye. Good luck. Now that will not help me. Okay. I will ask this person, you're planning to run the Standard Chartered Marathon this year? Yes. Wow. How many times have you run it? Then they say, this is going to be my 6th time. Then I know this one now might take me a little bit faster than I am ready for. But then in that room, if I find someone who says, I ran it for the first time last year, this is my 2nd attempt, that person is closer to my realities. My realities is, I need someone who tells me who has their first time story very fresh in their minds, and they will be empathetic with the fact that I have not completed a marathon before. All right. So the first thing you do is to bring yourself within the space of those who will help you achieve your goals, proximity. The second thing is you brand yourself. You brand yourself accordingly. How do you show up? What do you say when you show up? How confident are you? Do you have this sense of confidence around you? Yeah. How do you brand yourself online? If you brand yourself very well physically, and then I go online and find all these things, I'll be like, oh, I'm not very sure I want to connect with this person. Or I don't even know whether I know this person, right? Branding. You brand yourself physically for the meetups. You brand yourself well virtually. And much more important now, your virtual brand really does carry the day. Okay? Brand yourself in a way that people want to connect with you and keep you close and keep you there to linger on. The third thing is, once you've connected with Dolly, you have to give. Remember the example I have? Kate comes and tells me on LinkedIn, we met up yesterday. I was very interested about this article you sent, you had posted. We talked about it briefly yesterday. I also read a book about this. Here is a link just for your information. So she's given me something. The third thing is you must give. You cannot ask without giving. You cannot come and get someone to just keep bleeding and giving. You have to ask yourself, I've gone to Dolly for the 4th time. What have I given her? What can I give her? Everybody has something they can give. I used to mentor young people. Last year was not a good year for it, but the years before, I was very, very active. And each time I would talk with somebody, I went like, first of all, under 30, then I went like, I need to meet every Thursday, I need to meet under 27-year-olds. Now I think I'm at 25 to 27-year-olds. I want to meet. And every time I go there, they think they're coming to receive from me, but they show me 1 or 2 things, they tell me 1 or 2 things, and I go like, oh, wow, is that how much people are earning from being Instagram influencers? Or this is how much more you earn on Instagram than on TikTok. You even earn on TikTok. Oh, they've just started monetizing TikTok. These things I learned from young people. So there's something you can give. There is something you can give. So number 3, with your networking, give. And number 4, which is the last one, and the most important one, nurture. You must nurture the network. You cannot come to Dolly 3, 4, 5 years later and ask for a favor. It doesn't work. All right. So how do you nurture? You nurture in different ways. Within the first 24 hours of meeting, send an email and say, it was great meeting up, or on LinkedIn. Great meeting up, Dolly. Wow. Then after that, you say, like about 6 months later, you send something, you get a connection. And at the very minimum, every beginning of the new year or the holiday season in December, at the very minimum, everyone you want to keep in your circle, you must send them happy holidays and happy new year. That way they remember you. That way you can go back and get something from them. All right. So we have covered 3 things, and that's it from me. Why do you network? Because your network is your net worth today, and it will be your net worth tomorrow. Who do you network with? You network with your mentors, with your career sponsors, your work business sponsors, stakeholders, and personal advisory board, amongst other people. And how do you network? First, get close to those people. First of all, define the goals you have, define who you want, and then go close to the proximity to those people who will help you achieve your goals. Number one, brand yourself physically and virtually in a way that helps you, give to them, and lastly, nurture your networks. You must nurture your networks. Within 24 hours of meeting, send a message. Within 6 months, send a message. Within 1 year and every year thereon, say Happy New Year or Happy Holidays. And then you will have kept your network together. Okay, so I will stop there and just invite for questions or any other interaction. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Rotary and Dolly. I rarely take notes. Sometimes I believe in my mind, but for the first time I was taking notes. And this is really important coming in, straight after January, which was a trial period for the year, and the real year begins in February. So I hope everyone has their goals written, and you know who you want to network with. We have very, very insightful advice today. Proximity, brand yourself, be ready to give, and nurture the network. So this moment, I'll give an opportunity for 2 questions, 2-3 questions. First come, on a first come basis. You can put up your hand, or you can type in the chat. Again, remember, it's about the first 2 minutes impression. So you never know who is looking. So David will go first. Anyone else with a question? Put it on chat or raise your hand. Going once, going twice. Trying to read what's coming to the chat.
David raised his hand, I think.
Yeah, so we'll have David, and then the second question, or maybe you can take this as the first. Dolly, any quick tips for elevator pitches? David, you can ask a question.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so it's my first time. I think I've just been seeing Rotary around. I've never attended such a session or anything. In fact, a friend shared the link with me, I think some minutes before this meeting started, and then I say, let's see what will happen here. Yeah, so I'm David. So like I'm a student here at University of Nairobi. Yeah, thanks Dolly, like for this incredible session, a lot of insight. In fact, to be honest, like there was this thing I was struggling with, like when once you connect with people, like how do you maintain now that relationship? And thank you for that talk on how you nurture. Yeah, that was incredible. So like I think I have just like a small question rather. Can you like differentiate for me, like what's the difference? Because you have talked about career sponsors and you have talked about mentors. So from where I sit, I thought like mentors and sponsors maybe they are the same. So can you clarify that part for me? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, David. Dolly, we can squeeze in a third question. There's one in the chat by Elvis. Can a network run cold? How do you bring it back to life? Can it be brought back? Thank you.
Okay, so I will start with David. And David, well done for joining in a few minutes before the session started from the link you received, and even more for being bold enough to ask the first question. A mentor is somebody who has traveled the journey ahead of you, has already been there. So if you want to say, be the finance director, a finance director, and choose me as your mentor, I will walk. I have been there. I have learned. There are things that have worked for me. There are things that did not work for me. And you're starting your journey. I will walk with you the journey and show you and even connect you with people who can progress you. And I will speak with you, I will, advise you based on the knowledge I have, based on my network, and connect you and get to where you are. So I'm on your side, and I bring to you what it is I have experienced first and foremost, and then also bring to you my network that can help you progress. That's a mentor. The sponsor will likely not have that kind of time, but they will know of you. They will know David exists, and David wants to be a finance director in 7 years. And what they will do is that they'll keep looking out for you and seeing how far have you gone. And then they would ask you, maybe they'll call you once a year and say, hi David, how is it going? Oh yeah, so I finished my CPAs or my accounting exams. I understand this is one of the prerequisites to be a finance director, maybe not, I don't know. Or I've done this, and anyway, that is where I'm at right now. And the career sponsor will be like, yeah. In fact, let me know how it's going. Keep me posted. This person is interested to help you grow, to work with you, to lift you, but will not be as frequent in your conversations through the year, for example, as the mentor would. But they're looking out for you. I have had career sponsors, now this is true story, who sometimes talk to me only twice a year. And when they call me, they say, there's this opening. I think you are suitable for it. I'm forwarding your name. Is that okay? That is a career sponsor. They don't even ask me, do you have mentors this year? Did you go for coaching? Did you get mentorship? They don't ask me. They say, I've seen this is how far you've progressed. Anyway, tell me about since the last time we spoke, Dolly, where are you at? Then I say, this is where I'm at. Okay. Oh, wow, you've done that much more. Oh, you've changed your mind about this kind of journey. Oh, okay, you're thinking about something different. Perfect. There's something coming up in 3 months. I'll keep you posted. I'm looking out for you. That's a sponsor. That is somebody, a career sponsor. Now, let me be specific. That's the career sponsor that looks out for you, might speak to you once or twice a year, but they are on your side, But you have to continuously show them, I am this person that you can continue propelling forward. Okay, so that's the difference between those two.
So
yes?
can I interrupt? So this is the person who is fighting for your interest, behind closed doors, right?
Correct, exactly. Somebody who speaks for you and you're not in the room.
Yeah.
You're not in the room and they're speaking for you. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. And I think you're going to excuse my camera is having issues today, so yeah.
Not a problem. You have made an impression. Thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I think the next question was something to do with elevator pitch. So there was a question about the elevator pitch, a quick tip. I don't know whether there's a quick tip about an elevator pitch. Here's the thing. You have an elevator pitch for yourself, who you are. Let me tell you, I have an elevator pitch about me, Dolly. I will have an elevator pitch about my business. I will have an elevator pitch about the mission I'm on, right? What you need to do, I guess the only tip I can give you right now, but there's a lot, you have to do a lot of homework on that, is to be as authentic as possible and to figure out what is the value within 3 minutes of talking. What value are you, how do I say it? So if you're doing an elevator pitch for your business, for example, what is the solution your business is providing? What is the value of your business being in existence? So you don't say, I'm in the elevator with you, we're going to be here for three minutes, or I'm seated here and I think I'll only have 3 minutes of your time. And I want to tell you, by the way, I have these tissue papers. If you see, I have these tissue papers. I figured out how to make this box cheaper. You're going into too much details, yeah? So that's the tissue thingy. So you might want to talk about why you have this tissue business, the value of this business, and not the process of the business. So I think the only tip I can give you with the elevator pitch is think value. Think value that is able to make this person go like, aha, are you serious? You know, is that really what you do? Because once you get that, aha, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Kind of reaction, that person will call you back for the longer conversation. So you have to go through there's many trainings on the elevator pitch. Don't take a shortcut. Don't ask for quick tips. Go in and do the hard work. Figure out how to demonstrate value within 3 minutes, value of yourself, your business, your career, even your child. I could get into the elevator pitch and my child needs to get into Harvard. I have 3 minutes with this guy who I know is in the selection. And then I have to relay that value to that person, okay? That's the response I have for the elevator pitch question. There was another one, I think it was posted here. Sorry, Sam, what was the third question? Oh yeah, I've seen it. Can a network run cold? Not just a network. Friendships do expire. Don't force friendships. People are in your life for seasons, for different seasons. Okay? Do not force and cling. I think the only people we can't really get rid of and shake ourselves, maybe we can, but we are trained and we are nurtured and we are raised not to, is family. Okay? But there are family members you go like, imagine, no, I can't, right? But friendships do expire. They really do. And it is okay. It is okay to let go of a network, of a connection, of a friendship. They served the purpose that they needed to serve in that season of your life. And actually, you will come and realize, I was told this when I was much younger. Now, I say it out of experience. It's not books I've read them in books, but now it's out of experience, I'm telling you. You actually realize sometimes that the circle that got you to, from I think maybe the age of 25 to 20, even 7 or 8, is not the same circle that is going to enable you cross over 30 successfully. So you just allow that friendship or that circle to expire, all right? But if you have a professional network, it really does expire. It really rarely does. Maybe in the first 10, 15 years after campus, maybe it stays on for a long time because it depends on how you build the network. But the bosses I had like 15 years ago, 4 employers back, are still in my network. Okay, maybe I have to do a better job in connecting, that happy holidays thing and all that stuff. But they still are there and I know they can add value to me. Okay, so it is okay for the network to run cold. You don't have to overexert yourself to, to bring it back to life. I don't know which kind of network you are asking when you're asking this question. Sometimes it's a social network that, usually the social network is the one that people go like, I am not friends with these people anymore, or it's like, I don't have anything in common with these guys I used to be with anymore. It is okay. But the thing is, if you have, first of all, you need to expect it. Everyone, we are 49 here, minus myself, 48 of you. You must expect friendships to expire and to cease to be relevant to you. So if no one ever told you that, I'm telling you that so that it doesn't shock you when it happens. The thing that should shock you is that as you're letting go of those ones that have served you and don't serve you anymore, if you're not adding, then that needs to be of concern to you. If you're not adding new networks, adding new friendships, or nurturing some to go even deeper, then that is where the concern should be, not the ones that are expiring. Okay. There was a comment that was sent here. Let me just read it out. One of my take is always give authentic to receive. Give authentic to receive authentic. Exactly. You have to give authentically to receive, to invite the other person to be authentic to you. You must be authentic. You as a person, show up in an authentic way, because then that invites people to come to you authentically. Of course, you have to have that some sort of discerning power to understand who are these people around me. But you have to come out authentically and invite people to come to you in an authentic way, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll want us to stop at that. I see a few more questions and David wants to ask one more, but due to time, it's 9:22. If you saw a poster, we say 7:45 to 9-ish, since it's hard to cut off some good talk. But I think too much to take home today. And too much to process also. It's a life. I think what you're told is if you want to progress in this life, it's everyday learning. So thank you very much, Dolly. But before you go, I will invite Mercy Ngala to give a vote of thanks. Or should I say Mercy and Amaya? So Mercy, over to you.
I've already put her to bed, so I couldn't put on my video earlier on because my daughter was all over my space. But thank you so much, RotaryJabali, for this talk. I personally needed it because I'm at a space where I'm trying to network more in my business and career. And just to give a short history between me and RotaryJabali, I know she can't remember anything about her and I think the reason why this talk was important is because now I have to go back and network better with her. I a few months ago, I had asked her to give a talk at the Rotary Club of Syokimau. But then I'm telling you, the blue ticks. I think it's the way I approached her. So now I know how to handle the situation better. I'll definitely try and connect with you. Because now I think I've learned quite a few tactics on how to go about it. So I hope each and every one of us has gotten something to take home. And thank you so much for this talk.
Thank you, Mercy. I didn't know there's a backstory. Thank you very much, Dolly, and thank you for joining in this evening. Hope we didn't make you stay up too late, but hoping to connect sometime sooner and probably now have the talk on money issues, financial well-being sometime with the club. So thank you
so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
Asante. Before I hand back to Gaia, I'll make 2 club announcements. So the first announcement is, I think everyone has noted, has seen the information in our club logo. We are a new Rotary club, making the baby steps to be a fully fledged Rotary club. We have been on for several months now. And 2 weeks ago, we elected our club executive. That's the president, president-elect, president nominee, secretary, and treasurer. But a full board has also some directors. Our bylaws say we should have 8 directors. We elected 1. So 7 directors are to be appointed by the executive. But we've discussed and seen the best way is to ask people to volunteer. So should you be interested to hold any role? One, a role that you feel you're well suited for, or a role that you have no clue about, but you believe you can learn on the job. Chat us on the group. We have a group for all members who have been consistent, or you can DM me, or you can email our club email and volunteer to any role. The club executive will, organize and ensure all the roles are filled. And in the next meeting, in our next meeting, we hopefully shall announce the full board of the RotaryJabali information. So all members, I've already gotten a few DMs. A few roles have actually multiple volunteers, which is a good thing. Means the committees shall be fully constituted. So please volunteer. and let's get a challenge. Being part of a charter board is a good challenge for 2022 running into 2023. And if it's your first time with us, you're not even a member yet, you could please register on the link I have been circulating on chat, and our customer service team will get back to you within 24 hours. Second announcement, our next meeting is 2 weeks from now. We meet once in 2 weeks, or every 2 weeks, or every fortnight, virtually on Wednesday from 7:45 to 9-ish. 9-ish is when a good stock is had to end. So 9-ish could be between 9, 10. I think there's only one time we got to 10:30, but we promised to get to about 9:30. Next meeting, we have our current district governor, Alex Nyaga, will be our speaker. Alex is our current district governor for Rotary District 9212. And he has a lot of stories to share. So this shall be a storytelling session with a DG. A poster will be out in a week or less. And we look forward to you joining us for our next meeting. So our next meeting will probably announce our full board. Hopefully you have constituted a full board by then. The DG will be our speaker, and hopefully also we shall start registering people for charter, because we are club information, but I think everyone agrees, everyone who has been with us agrees that we are ready for charter. So that is in 2 weeks' time, full board, DG, and registration for club charter. Thank you very much. Have yourself a good evening. But before that, over to Gaia for their final session.
Thank you so much, SK. And I've seen Dolly has already left, but allow me also pass my appreciation for the good talk. And allow me also appreciate everyone for taking their time. Team Rodriguez, happy to have you. I saw 3 members from Rodriguez joining us to share this session with us. I saw Kate, I saw Sophie, and PDT, who are also here with us. So we appreciate that. We also appreciate all the guests coming in today for our session. This is how we do it in Jabali. And if you want to be a part of this and to join this train, make sure you fill in the registration link. Make sure you add a comment down there if you want any information, more information about the club. I've seen David requesting for the same. Just make sure you have that information on the link, and we'll get back to you, and we'll do so happily. And our customer service team is always on point to reach out within a short time. Thank you so much to see you, Harriet, joining us from District 9214, our neighbors in Uganda. We appreciate that. And I was very excited to see that you saw the poster. Thought this was an exciting meeting to join in, and you did join in. And we hope that, and the fact that you're still here with us means that you've actually enjoyed it, and we appreciate you. Please send our greetings to our good friends in Uganda. Finally, going into the SAA session, I want to, yes, we do serve food, Steve, slightly after 10. So just hang around till 10 and you'll get amazing food and amazing snacks behind the tent. So now I want to invite you, if this session has been exciting to you, this session has made you a better person, and you feel too excited that you want to share your happiness with us, please feel free to do so by either unmuting yourself and sharing your happy dollar with us, or your sad dollar with us, or do so on chat. I now welcome you to do that. So who wants to go first? Again, happy dollars are very voluntary, and you only give when you want. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with 2 happy dollars for the session this evening, and 1 more happy dollar for the good work that our members are putting in behind the scenes to make sure that our charter date looks nearer and nearer. Thank you so much, our team, for always putting in the hard work. Message from our DGSR is that he's happy with how we are going. He needed to jump into another meeting, and he's super excited about what we are doing and how we are doing it, and is open to any question should there be one. Thank you so much, Terer. A bit Asad Dollar, we appreciate your time and appreciate you taking the last few minutes to fellowship with us this evening. But more importantly, we've recorded the session, and I'll ask that is shared